So I'm starting winter project number one. I've got a 5.9 Magnum, and it appears like it's in going to be pretty good shape. What I'm going to do with it is I'm going to make it into an aluminum head roller cam small block to put in my Duster. So if something like that sounds like it interests you, stick around. Now I don't think this engine has probably ever been apart. I'm like 99.9% sure. I popped the oil pan off because my neighbor needed one. He was dropping a 360 in a little short box, a lot similar to my own. And that's actually the only reason that the oil pan is off of it, so I could have a look. But yeah, she's original, like she come from the factory. So let's pull the rest of it apart and see what we got. So it looks to me like you can see some nice crosshatch in there. Now let's see if I can find, here's another one. Yeah, you can definitely still see some amount of crosshatch in those cylinders. Hopefully this is going to be a really good, viable, short block that I can work with, that hopefully maybe make things a little more economical and make my plan work a little better. So what I'm going to do first is I'm just going to loosen these main caps, and we'll have a look at these bearings. My goal here, because I'm so dang cheap, I'm gonna not replace anything that I don't have to replace. So honestly, if these bearings look as good as the cylinder walls do, I'm not even gonna replace them. I'm just gonna run them and hope for the best. Now let's have a look at these bearings. You're seeing this just as I'm seeing it. It looks pretty good to me. There's like a little bit of scuffing, more or less, but honestly, it looks really good. And I mean, look at that. Look at that journal. It, as far as I can see, I think that looks just great. But here, let's check number two. See what it looks like. Now, oh, you can see there's a line right down the middle of it. It almost looks like it's a factory line, but I know it's not. Now, I guess as long as there's no corresponding line on the journal, which it doesn't appear like there is, um, I think this should be okay. It makes me wonder about using these bearings though. Like that line, I'm not sure about that. Thrust bearing looks pretty good. A little bit of scuffing on the sides, but not too bad. I don't know. It looks okay to me. Next bearing, getting closer to the oil pump, still looking really good. It's got a bit of a faint line in that one though too, if you see. And it's just that bit of scuffing. You know, I don't know what to think about that scuffing. It's just, and if you look along the edges of the bearing, like right by the bearing part, it's almost like it's stained. It's not dirty, even like there's that much you can wipe off, but it seems stained. Now this, oh, I'm not going to be able to get this off until I get the gasket off. There, now let's see what this one looks like. Get this yanked out of here and have a look at the back bearing. So here again, like it's a little bit grubby, but if you look, like the bearing itself looks pretty dang good when you wipe the schmutz off of it. But you can still see, like right along the bearing part there, it's like it's stained. It's like it's not clean. The inside of this engine doesn't look bad, but I don't know what to think about that on those bearings. It's kind of weird. So here's the rod cap. Now, I don't like the looks of that so much. Like if you look at that, you you can't feel anything there, but you can certainly see it. And like it almost looks like a little bit of pitting and stuff in there. I don't super love the looks of that bearing at all. I mean, it's perfectly smooth, and I don't doubt you'd get oil pressure out of it, but I'm not thinking I'm necessarily something I'm going to want to put back on there. Now, if you look at this rod journal, it looks really nice. The like the crank in this thing, I'm super confident. Look, you can't catch your fingernail on that. I'm sure this crank's going to be just fine the way it is. You look at that main, like yeah, this just needs to be wiped off. Just grab a rag and wipe it off quick. But that looks really good too, and you cannot snag a fingernail on that for nothing. So I don't know. Does a guy be super cheap and reuse those bearings? Ah, it's tough to say. I sure would hate to screw up that nice cherry crank by being super cheap though too. So that's it for now. The bottom end looks like it's really good shape. Really not sure what I should do with those bearings. I'm skeptical to use them. They look like they should be just fine, but I don't know, now that they've been disturbed and whatnot, are they going to be okay? If you've got more experience with this than me and you think yes, you think no, leave a little note in the comments and tell me what you think I should do. Thanks for watching.